we're going to be looking at Canvas as a digital assessment tool. And when you log into your Canvas account and click on a course, go ahead and click on quizzes. That doesn't mean that this has to be a quiz grade. It could be a final assessment. There are a lot of things that it could include. It's just the term that they give for their assessment tool. I'm going to click on one that I've actually already created. Now, the first page that pulls up, so if you're opening up a new assessment, it'll just be an untitled assessment. And it opens up to a settings page, which the settings page is just like the assignment page where you can put in different media. You can put in video, you can put in pictures, your text instructions, you can put everything here. Pretty much anything you could imagine you could put within that box. Now, it gives you several options. You can do a practice quiz, which is great if you're given something for students to review. Or you can do a graded quiz. The surveys you can do, but there are probably other tools that are easier for surveys. You'll also want to click the Post Grades to SIS if you want it to post in the gradebook. There are multiple settings here that I feel that everybody can go through and figure out what they mean. They're pretty self-explanatory. The only other thing, like filter IP addresses, that a lot of people have asked about, and that's mainly just so that you can tell what computer students are on or limit what computer students can use. And we're not going to do this. This would be for fully online courses where students would have to show up to a physical place to take a test instead of doing it at home. So you don't have to really worry about this. So I'm going to look at the question part. Now, I've got several test questions here set up, and one of them is going to look pretty familiar. I mean, it's the multiple choice. It's the same thing as probably every other digital tool you've seen, where you got 4 answer choices, you got a question there, which in that question you can put in picture, you can put in video. There are a lot of things there. So if you're looking at read aloud, I mean, this might be a good tool for you to use because you can put in media clips. So you can actually record or put things in. So that might actually be helpful if you need to do read aloud for students. Now, this here is going to be fill in the blank. Make sure you read the directions for posting these questions because the directions might vary with what you have to do to make this work. For instance, this one had to be in brackets, and I had to read it too. You have to put the reference word, no spaces, surrounded by brackets in order for it to recognize it. And then we have another option where it's a drop-down box, and it's a similar thing where I had to put brackets around my word and then put the possible answer choices. And then the last one is we have the ability to put in an essay question. Now, this won't be automatically graded, but the other questions would be. So anything that you can set an answer to will be automatically graded as soon as the students hit submit. So let's go see what it looks like on the student end. Make sure you hit save every time you complete something in here. Otherwise, you might lose all of your work. So I'm going to hit preview. Preview will let me see the quiz that I just created. And I see my familiar multiple choice, my fill in the blank, so it allows me just to type straight in. My drop-down list, which gives me my answer choices. And then I have my essay question where the students would type directly into here. For this, you could also have them submit a URL. They could just copy and paste the URL right in. But I find that if it's a test or an assessment where they need to do work right there, this is just as easy to type straight into here. So now let's look at how we could go through and grade this. Remember, the first 3 would be automatically graded because we set the question. We could set the correct answer. That last one, though, wasn't automatically graded. We have the speed grader here, and that's where we'll need to go. I've already got it pulled up in this window just so that we could see it a little bit faster. It does show me all of the other questions, but the one that I need to grade is this essay question. And this is the biggest time saver here. It gives me the ability to do a media comment, which means I could put in video or audio, or both. But I can put in audio feedback for the paper instead of having to worry about written paper. So it's something similar to doing individual student conferences, except you do it in your time where you don't have to worry about monitoring students and trying to talk to students at the same time, because that's always the battle with doing individual student conferences is you have a student that is on the other side of the room that you really can't monitor all that well while you're conferencing with the student right in front of you. So once you make those comments, you can set the grade for that question. So if I want to award all points, even though I put down that I'm not doing an essay, I can. I can also give more than that. I can give as many points as I want to. So consider that kind of like bonus points. You can add those in. And then as soon as I'm done, I just hit update score, and then I could just arrow over to the next student. So this student doesn't have an assignment yet, but you would have a whole list of your students that have turned things in. And you got to keep in mind that there will be a little bit of work up front, but the work that we do up front is work that we would probably spend a lot more time doing on the back end when we're looking at giving feedback to students.